May 23rd, 2026. Such a book on the table. Very quiet in the yard today. I mean, Jay, I heard one ovenbird a little while ago, a few minutes ago. Oh, there it is. Crow cawed. But I mean, other than that, it is dead silent in these woods. Dead silent. And migration this year, I mean, the birdcast videos or birdcast like graphs showed, a couple of really huge, I mean 3-4 huge days about a week ago now, starting like it was like I think it was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, something like that. Or maybe it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know, whatever. It was like 3 days or something. And I mean, they show cumulative migration for a county over, over, I don't know, from like April 1st to like June 1st or something, or March 15th to June 1st, whatever. And it's usually like, and it takes all years in aggregate. It shows like the average number of birds that have crossed by a certain date. And so it's like a gradual slope up, and in the last, week or so of May, it kind of flattens out. I'll try to paste it into this video. But this year, it was kind of flat because migration started so slow because of the weather to our south and how rainy or how cold it was. And then all of a sudden, like, for first like 10, 15 days almost of, or 10, 15 days of May, like the first half, there was only a couple of really good days in there. And then, like I said, we had these monster days, like back to back to back. And I mean, it was like warblers singing at eye level at like Hellcat, just and dozens of them. It was wild. This is one of the coolest experiences I've had in birding. And like redstarts, which I've always had trouble getting good views and good like pictures of redstarts because they usually like they bounce around a lot. They're high up in trees. This thing was singing at eye level, and not, I mean, multiple ones were singing at eye level. It was just absolutely mobbed, and it was a really cool experience. I really liked it. And Rock Meadow had a really nice day at Rock Meadow the next day, and I think Hellcat was just as packed. And Monday it was too. And then, I looked at the graph, and like I said, it just the birdcast thing, it just spiked straight up like wild. Hopefully I've got it in this video. And and then after that, I was like, well, there's only so many birds to our south that can cross, and those 3 days put us at, or a little bit over, the typical total we would see for an entire migration, and that was by May 8th, like 17th or so. So like these usually is still, like some stuff moving through now. It's usually quieting down, obviously. It's post-peak, it's the 23rd. But it's usually still decent traffic coming through. Oh, Oriole flying through there. There's usually still decent stuff like coming through, and there's morning warblers, Canada warblers, and maybe they still will. But we've hit Canada for like a week now. I think morning warblers were showing up yesterday, and I think in Mount Auburn, I think someone had a morning. I forget. But anyway, the point is, it's like everything to our south is kind of built up. And then even the stuff that would come later, I don't know if birds just decide, hey, weather hasn't been great, maybe I should just not take a leisurely route up. Not that they're going leisurely to begin with, but whatever it is, so this just blasted through. And if I look at where I was, like, in terms of total species in this yard here this year, I must be behind. I mean, like stuff like Canada warblers. I never saw Canada warblers come through the yard this year. We had multiple ones last year, and there were no really great days here in the yard. There's some really good ones. I had a couple of really good ones, but last year there was like 2 or 3 days that were great, where it's like, oh, am I going to hit 50 species in the yard, or what am I going to hit here? And just the raw number, it's like 10 black-throated greens or whatever, 9 parula, like a bunch of Nashvilles, Canada, stuff like that. Didn't have any days like that this year. I had a couple of days where it was pretty good. Like, oh, there's a Nashville, there's a chestnut-sided, there's a black-throated green. And I think this year, I wouldn't be shocked. I do a little total in eBird. I do like a trip report 30-day trip report, or month-long one for May, I'll compare it to last year's, and I wouldn't be shocked if like the total number I'd seen was like a quarter of what I had seen last year. Same with other places too. Just because it was so swift that stuff moved through, I just, on those days it was really hopping at Parker River and at Rock Meadow. It just wasn't. Those were the decent days here, I believe, but they weren't like over the top. So it was a very interesting migration, and it feels over. It feels like it's over. I went to Skinner State Park yesterday, and I mean, this is my third trip I've done there. 2024, I saw like 52 species. Last year I saw 49 or 48 or 47. Yesterday I saw 43. And there was a lot of, there's always going to be a lot of singles, but even stuff like, a lot of the warblers were just like singles, like one-offs. So it wasn't, there's still a lot of birds because there's going to be tons of like peewees and red-eyed vireos and yellow-throated vireos and stuff like that, but, and red starts. But overall, yeah, I felt like I was, I saw the ceruleans and worm-eating warblers, obviously, and, I golfed through that trip, and Louisiana water thrush, but yeah, otherwise, it felt quieter. Usually it feels like when I step out of my car at Skinner State Park and start walking up that main mountain road, it feels like a jungle. It feels like I'm in a jungle. This time it just felt like it was quieter. There's still stuff calling, but not as densely, not as much. Yeah, so I think migration's pretty much over on, I said today's May 23rd. Yesterday was May 22nd. I mean, I'm going to go out probably a couple more times just to, see who's around. I always do. But I think we're largely through migration at this point. I mean, this yard even. And stuff's paired off faster, too, because I think stuff just pushed through in those huge fronts. I think a lot of things paired off, like in the yard. The ovenbird, I mean, I heard it barely calls anymore. The ovenbird barely calls. Had a wood thrush singing last night, which was cool. The Veery came. I still hear it calling, but the song was maybe like 4 days this year, 3 days, and then it just started calling like here and there, like these little calls that it does. But otherwise, I'm like, I wonder if it already found a mate. There's the ovenbird now. But yeah, a lot of stuff just doesn't. Yeah, a lot of stuff isn't calling. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it is silent. I hear a lawnmower in the distance, shipping sparrow or pine warbler, and those are barely calling though. And otherwise, just that ovenbird punctuating the silence. Some cracks and the feeder. I'm gonna fill the bird feeders. Yeah, it was still a good migration. It's interesting. Every migration is different. I remember this one is like the one with the massive peak, like in 16th, 17th. That's what I remember this one as. Yeah, good times.